In today's video, we are talking about turmeric and whether it's a viable thing to implement in your diet, whether it be for a supplement or whether it be in the food that you're eating. So we're going to be talking about turmeric and how effective it is for indigestion. It has long been used as a remedy for indigestion in Southeast Asia. It's a blazing yellow spice taken in shots. It can be added to anything in the form of lattes, in the form of curries, in the form of supplements, and it's been used for a lot of different things. It's been touted as a remedy for ailments as diverse as high cholesterol, as depression, as hay fever, for aching joints. So it's really a wonder supplement, they say, or food ingredient or spice. So let's look into it a little bit further and see if this is all actually true and viable or if it's just something that people say. So the way we're going to actually do that is by diving in a little bit deeper and comparing it to evidence-based medicine, so to the British Medical Journal in this instance. So we're not just going to be spitting facts to you, but we're going to be making a direct comparison to a tablet called Omeprazole, which is very common in treating indigestion, very commonly prescribed medication. So the BMJ has made a direct comparative study between omeprazole and turmeric, and it could cement its reputation, turmeric's reputation, as something that is helpful in treating indigestion. But it's not actually turmeric, so let me explain. Turmeric actually is derived from the root of the Curcuma longa plant. So the turmeric that we're talking about actually contains a naturally active compound called curcumin, and that's the focus here. So that's the thing that's thought to have anti-inflammatory and antimicrobial properties, and that's long been used as a remedy in Southeast Asia and elsewhere. And this will be important to note because of later on when we talk about the practicality of taking this on a daily basis. So what did the BMJ do? What did the British Medical Journal do as an evidence-based practice to establish whether turmeric or curcumin is effective in treating indigestion? So its theory is that the natural compound found in the culinary spice turmeric could be as effective as the proton pump inhibitor omeprazole for treating symptoms of indigestion. And the way they did this is by evaluating 206 people. So they took 206 people over a 2-year period in a double-blind, placebo-controlled clinical trial. So out of the 206 people, they were split up into 3 groups. And in these 3 groups, then, they were monitored for a period of time to see what their reaction was. And it's worth noting that all 206 people were aged 18 to 70, and they all had similar clinical characteristics of indigestion. So all of their symptoms were quite similar when you assess it, and that was very relevant for the study. And thus, each group was given turmeric or omeprazole. The turmeric was 2 large capsules of 250 milligrams 4 times a day, and the omeprazole was standard 20 milligram dose. So the first group was given turmeric and a placebo. The second group was given omeprazole and a placebo. And the third group was given a combination of turmeric and omeprazole itself. So these were the 3 groups that were given a variety of turmeric, omeprazole, or placebo, and they were reassessed then at 28 days and at 56 days. So that was the study. So a combination given to them in 3 groups and reassessed at 28 days and then at 56 days. And the results were quite interesting. So after 28 days and 56 days, they were given the same questionnaires to monitor their symptoms. So they all went into the story with similar symptoms of indigestion, and their symptoms all reduced by these values that you're going to see now at 28 days and 56 days. So the interesting pattern here is that the symptoms were reduced in all categories, so in all combinations of medications and supplements given. So that was very interesting. But the 2 main takeaway points here is that they were similar for the turmeric and the omeprazole group. And the other thing to highlight here is that it was a safe study. So it may justify considering curcumin in clinical practice. That's the conclusion out of the study. But there's a few other things to mention here, and being the safety of the study. While there are limitations to the study in the sense that it only lasted 56 days, for example, the encouraging thing was that there were no adverse reactions in the study. So that's very important when we're talking about the context of turmeric versus omeprazole. So in this study itself, over the 56 days, there were no adverse side effects that were reported. So when we break this down into a turmeric versus an omeprazole situation, omeprazole is a little bit different in that sense. So there are things like headaches, like diarrhea. So these are common side effects now that I'm listing of omeprazole. So you can get headaches, diarrhea, stomach pain, and then more serious side effects. You can have increased fracture risk if there's a long-term use of omeprazole, a micronutrient deficiency. So these are things that are associated with prolonged use of omeprazole. And as you know, or as you don't know, omeprazole is one of the most commonly prescribed medications in the world, I would argue. And then we come to the limitations of the turmeric. So each capsule of turmeric contains 2 grams of curcumin, which is the active compound that we actually are interested in. So turmeric itself has about 5% curcumin within it. And you need to consume about 40 grams of turmeric to ingest that much curcumin each day. So that's not practical or achievable. And that's why it's a good idea to take any turmeric with black pepper, as it increases the bioavailability of curcumin by as much as 2,000%. And that's why most supplements you find have the combination of the black pepper and the turmeric. But that's not it, right? That's not all. So the alkaloid in black pepper has potent analgesic and anti-inflammatory activities. So that can reduce muscle damage and soreness caused by exercise if you take it before or after a workout. So that's also pretty interesting to note when you're taking these supplements as well. But beyond this, there's little solid evidence that turmeric has much more health benefits. So all the things that we were saying at the beginning of the video, that it cures all these wide and wonderful diseases, that might not be the case, or at least we need to do a bit more research in regards to that. But nonetheless, turmeric can be added to food, or you can take it as a supplement, and there isn't going to be that much harm to you as a person. So I encourage you to take it, and these healthcare professionals seem to encourage it as well. So the research concludes overall that the trial provides highly reliable evidence that the treatment for functional dyspepsia may justify considering curcumin in clinical practice. So very interesting. Hope you learned something. Please like and subscribe for more. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and we will see you in the next video, of course. If you're curious about getting PDF notes regarding this video, please leave a comment in the section below. I'm trying to find out whether that would be a viable thing. Take care. See you in the next video.